recording, and I'm going to get on and mute everybody. And then if you want to unmute oops, I muted myself. If you want to unmute yourself because you have a question when we ask for a question, please do so. So I'm going to mute everyone so that it's quiet, but you guys can still hear me, right? Okay, perfect. Excellent. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what's going on my desktop. Today's election day, in case anyone was wondering. But most importantly, we're going to pull up a copy of the compensation plan. And if this is something that you just need a little bit of clarification on something, it might be great. If you're just starting and you're trying to learn the comp plan and you feel like this is confusing, that's okay. That's normal. And so I pulled Richard in because he's going to explain some of the finer details of the compensation plan. I understand all of it backwards and forwards and sideways and inside out, but it's something that I thought would be good to have an extra person explaining it, because sometimes one person can explain it in a way that makes more sense to you personally. So first of all, I want to start out by saying that doTERRA has an amazing compensation plan. And you know, when I first started doing this business, I was living off of $1,700 a month, and I was very anxious to make money quickly because that was the goal. Now, funny enough, I wanted to make money, but I didn't really believe that I could, so I didn't really do anything for a year. But I knew that I had friends making money with the comp plan, and I thought, well, I know it's possible because I see other people making the money.
It was that wasn't for us, that was for them.
That was for someone else, right? But I knew that in doTERRA you could make money, and the awesome thing with doTERRA is that a lot of new people are hitting those ranks. In fact, I'm going to have Richard grab his laptop and look up the income and earning disclosure so that you can see how many new people are hitting ranks, because that is an important thing when you are looking at a comp plan for company. I will tell you that doTERRA is not a get rich quick. It's not one that you're going to make tons of money up front where you're like, oh my gosh, I just earned this $10,000 bonus in 3 months. That's not going to happen with doTERRA. But what will happen with doTERRA is long lasting, incredible income. So once you get it going, and you've hit a point where you're starting to make a lot of money, it stays there, and then it grows, and then it doubles, and it's growing more, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So that's what I love about doTERRA, is that it's just a compensation plan that really just can't be beat. And in fact, this last spring, Corey Lindley asked us if we wanted to, he said, I'll compare different compensation plans for you guys so that you can see, comparing what the other ranks and other companies make, because a lot of people had a question about that. And what he did is he went to their publicly posted income and earning disclosure statement, which they have to post accurate numbers or they could get literally shut down. So he went and compared several companies, and I will tell you that doTERRA, every single rank, silver and above, there was not a company who their silvers made more than our silvers, their golds made money. We outranked every single rank, made more money than all of their top ranks.
Well, more importantly is our time to hit those ranks was significantly lower than the other.
Significantly lower, and we have a ton of people hitting that rank. So for example, in 2015, almost 3,100 people hit silver. The average silver makes $2,000. 1,000 new people hit gold, and the average gold makes $59,000 a year. So I think that's what, 4,500 or almost $5,000. The average platinum, there was 435 new platinums, 266 new diamonds, 60 new blue diamonds. The average blue diamond makes $500,000 a year. And there was 60 last year, and then there was 13 new presidentials, which is incredible. It's incredible. So, the income is very real and very amazing. So I want to start out just by explaining the basics of the compensation plan. So there are several different ways to get paid in doTERRA. Now, doTERRA realizes that when you look at this portion of the compensation plan, their unilevel, that you're thinking, well, great, I'm getting paid 2% on everybody on my front line. I'm going to make $5 a month with doTERRA. They understand that that's what it looks like in the beginning. So they have created Fast Start for you. So basically, you always need to make sure that you have 100 PV set up on your templates. So at all times, your back office needs to show that you are going to be ordering 100 PV, because that's how they run their commissions. They go in on Sunday night and they see who ordered that last week, and they close it off. And then Wednesday, when they cut the check, they see, okay, Sarah enrolled Jessica. That's awesome. Jessica ordered 100 PV, so Sarah's going to get a check for $20. Does Sarah have an order set up? They look to see what you have set up for the future. They want to see that you have 100. So make sure that you always have 100 PV set up. Make sure it's not $100. Make sure it's 100 PV. You will find there are months where maybe you do like the holiday products and your template may be less. So everybody go in and make sure that you have 100 PV set up for December or this month if you haven't ordered this month yet. So the first way to get paid is Fast Start. So basically, when you enroll somebody in doTERRA, that's someone that you sign up yourself, you get 20% of their PV. So if and a lot of times the kits like there's the Aroma Touch Diffused kit, that is 100 PV, you get a $20 check. Now, the person who enrolled you gets $10 from that. They get 10%, and then the person who enrolled them gets 5%. Now, one important thing to remember is this is different than sponsor. In doTERRA, you have enrollers and you have sponsors. Enrollers, I like to think of as your parents, your mom, your grandparents, and your great-grandma. You don't have to live right next to your mom for her to be your mom. So in other words, I can enroll somebody and I can sponsor them like 5 people down and I still have their enrollership. I could put them 25 people down and I would still have their enrollership. So, you know, I just enrolled a girl named Nicole. I could put her on my 27th level. Now I wouldn't do that because that wouldn't make any sense, but I could. And whenever she enrolled somebody, I'd still get 10% of that, even though she was on my 27th level, because I personally enrolled her. I'm her mom. Her grandma is Teresa Harding. I am on Teresa Harding's 5th level. So anytime I enroll somebody, I get 20% and Teresa gets 10%. And then Justin Harrison is her great grandpa. So he gets 5% of her order. So anytime somebody orders in their first 60 days, not your first 60 days, because that's the mistake I made at first, is I thought, oh, whenever I enroll somebody, I've got to hurry and enroll everybody I can in 60 days because I'm going to get 20% of their order. And I was like really anxious to get Richard's mom enrolled because she did an 800 PV order. And then I realized, oh, it doesn't matter when she orders, as long as it's her first 60 days, I get that amount. So, and actually when we started, we only got Fast Start for 30 days. And now it's 60 days. So it's really awesome. doTERRA has made some tweaks to their comp plan and every last one of them has been a benefit to us. So anytime you enroll somebody and anytime they order in that first 60 days, you get 20% of the PV of what they order. And then anybody that they enroll, you get 10% of, and then anybody that person enrolls, you get 5% of. So enrollment means who's your mom, who's your grandma, who's your great grandma or great grandpa. Your sponsor, that is your address, who is directly above you. I am sponsored by Heather Ives, even though Teresa Harding is my enroller. So it goes Teresa Harding, Curtis Harding, Heather Ives, me. I lied, I'm on her 4th line, but I'm on her 4th level. She has my enrollership, even though I'm down on level 4, and Heather Ives is my sponsor. So that's Fast Start. This is what doTERRA does to help you get going in the beginning. When they realize, you know what, we don't want you to feel like you're getting paid 2% of orders here and there. So we're going to give you Fast Start money. And I like it. It's Fast Start. It helps you get going quickly. You know, for us, we were in a place where we really needed our order to pay for itself. So I set a goal that I needed to be bringing in 500, I needed to bring in 500 new PV every single month so that I'm getting $100 so that I can pay for my order. That was my goal. And most months I did it. Some months I was a little bit above it. You know, like my mother-in-law ordered 800. I got a check for 160, right? Would it be 160? And then other months, maybe I only brought in 300 and I made 60, but I needed to be making about 100 a month. So I set that goal for myself very, very quickly. So that's Fast Start. Now I'm going to go back. You can get paid retail. I don't advocate really pushing a retail business with doTERRA because this is the difference of hauling buckets versus creating a pipeline, if you've ever heard that analogy. The beauty of doTERRA is it's a beautiful, beautiful pipeline. You introduce people to order, they start ordering regularly, and you've got yourself customers for life. I mean, I did 3 LRPs this month because, well, first of all, 2 of them were for the Christmas products, but then I'm like, well, crap, I have to have an LRP for my family stuff because we need lifelong vitality. My kids need PB Assist, you know, and the vitamins. So I was excited to do another LRP. But you know, I'm a lifelong customer of doTERRA. If you're a retail customer, it's a one-time thing. They're not loyal. They don't need to be loyal to you. They can order through somebody else, and they're paying a lot more for the product. Now, there are people who will choose to do retail, and that's okay. Basically, what happens is that doTERRA gives you 25% of their order. Now, you may think, well, I'm going to do retail because I'm going to make more money than retail, because 25% is more than 20%. It is more. But I will tell you, people don't do big retail orders. They do retail because they want to try a product or two here or there. So, you know, they may order a bottle of pastance or a bottle of lemon or a bottle of frankincense to try one thing. They're not just going to do, you know, if they're doing over 100, they're going to be purchasing a kit. So I don't really push retail, and I have people buy it occasionally, and that's just great. But I always try to get people to do the wellness customer or wellness advocate, because benefit to them. And then obviously it's a benefit to me because I'm creating myself a loyal customer. So if someone does retail, you get paid 25%. Now, the next bonus that you get paid with doTERRA is called Power of 3 bonus. Now, this is a little bit confusing. So, and that's okay if you feel confused. So basically what doTERRA does is they take you, and then they take your front line. And if you have 3 people on your front line, each ordering 100 PV on LRP, it can't be a single order. It has to be LRP. You did LRP of 100, and you have at least 3 people doing LRP of 100. And this is the part that gets a little bit confusing. Your entire volume is 600. You get a $50 bonus. Now, you have to have 3 people on LRP plus you. But let's say that you have 3 other people on your front line, or you had somebody do a retail order that month. If you do a retail order that month, they count that towards your personal PV. Retailers are considered your personal PV. And they'll take, and that, so let's say that you did 100, but then you sold 100 retail. So then your personal volume looks like it's 200. So what they want to do is make sure that you and your front line is at 600. So they take all your retail orders, all your front lines retail orders, everybody on your front line. And if it's 600 and you have these 3 people each doing 100 PV on LRP, you get a $50 bonus. Now, I always tell people, don't build for Power of 3. Build for rank and with solid builders, and then your power of 3 will follow suit. Because I will tell you this, your Power of 3 is harder to maintain than your rank. So I've had my Power of 3 1500 for 4 years now, and it's a little shaky right now. We're working on it. I'm still getting it, but I'm having to do a lot of work on it. Whereas my rank is solid, if that makes sense, because remember, somebody can qualify you even if, I haven't talked about this yet, even if they're not on your front line. So you want to make sure that you are not making long-term plans for your financial success with doTERRA based on your Power of 3. It's a bonus. I love that it's called bonus. It's just that. It's an addition. It's a gift. It's a bonus. So don't build for your Power of 3. In other words, don't say, oh, you're going to order 100 every month. I'm going to put you on my front line. Now, obviously, if they're a wellness customer, that's different, but still, I'd like to see you structuring for rank. Now, once your first 3 people have their 50 each, so Blue Man 1, Blue Man 2, Blue Man 3, they all have their 50, you are getting your 250, Power of 3. Now, remember, they each have to have 600 between them and their group. Now, once your front line each has their 250, you're at your 1500. And that is a great bonus to get. It is an awesome bonus. But I would never recommend actually building just for your 1500 unless you're putting people down on your 3rd level for your 1500. So that's a little more complicated, and that's something that we can talk about.
One note is, so for this 600 team volume over here, you can have, a person over here enrolled, and they can count towards your team volume, even though they're not the ones you're using the LRP templates for. And so you can have 100 people out over here that all count for your team volume, even though you're using these 3 people for your LRP order. So anyways, so it takes anything on your front line.
So anything that's on your front line. Okay, so now we're going to talk about, so that's Power of 3, Fast Start, and Retail. And now we're going to talk about the compensation plan. And this is the part that you may look at this and wonder if you are looking at something in Chinese. The answer is no, although it may seem like it. And it's something that you'll figure out over time. And the cool thing is I always tell people this is on-the-job training. So right now, if you're just barely starting, let's focus on Fast Start, because that's how you're going to be getting paid. And then obviously, whoever enrolled you and is mentoring you is going to help you figure out how to structure your team for maximum success. Excuse me. So first of all, Anybody that's building the business, I'm going to go back to one thing. I like to encourage people who are building the business to do 150 PV. If they're a serious business builder, do 150 PV, because you will find that you will, there have been times where somebody has themselves and everyone on their front line is doing 100, but they're missing their $50 bonus because their volume's only 425. It's not 600, or it's only 400. So you want to make sure, and I have groups on and that's what's happening with my 1500 is I have some people that are just doing 100, and it needs to be 600, not 400. So I tell people, if you're really serious about doing this business, do 150 a month so that you don't ever miss any of your bonuses, and teach your builders the same, and that will help strengthen the power of 3. So I may not structure for power of 3, but I do tell my builders to always do 150 so that it's more likely to get your power of 3. Hi, buddy. Do you want to say hi? Say hi. He just woke up from a nap. Okay, so this is this is unilevel. So doTERRA has a unilevel compensation plan. There are breakaway plans and there are binary plans. doTERRA has chosen a unilevel. And Corey Lindley went over some of the benefits of a unilevel compensation plan versus binary and breakaway. And unilevel is set up for the long-term your long-term financial success. So you may not make money quite as quickly, but you're going to be stable. And in the long run, you're going to make a lot more money. So unilevel, honestly, of course, I'm biased. I've never done another network marketing company, but I'm very happy with it. I'm not as familiar with the other plans, but I know on the other plans, you don't necessarily get paid on all your volume because they'll only pay you on your weakest leg or whatever it is. They'll give you all the volume on your weakest leg or pay all your weakest leg. doTERRA doesn't do that. They pay you on your orders. So we have a unilevel plan. So when you sign up as a wellness advocate and you are paid, if you want to just get paid on your first level, you would only need to do a 50 PV order. Now, I don't really like to teach this because if you hit 500, you're automatically not earning the rest of the money. And you're going to be missing your fast start bonus. You won't get power of 3. You can't get paid retail. So always make sure that you're doing your 100. But technically, to just be paid as a wellness advocate, you just need 50, but you would only get paid 2% of your first level, we want you to get paid more than that. Now, to get paid anything above that, like as a manager, where that means you would have 500 in monthly OV. Now, your PV is your personal volume, and your OV is your overall volume. So anything that you do goes into your OV. So you could hit manager just by ordering 500 PV just yourself, because you'll notice that at that point, both your OV and your PV would be 500. To get paid as a manager, you need to be ordering 100. So that's why I say, forget that this even says 50, because you don't want to ever miss money. So I always tell people you need to be doing your 100 because you'll miss all your other bonuses. You won't be able to get paid for the rank you hit. You won't be able to get paid for anything. So do your 100. And then once you're hitting 500, you're getting paid. Anybody that orders on your front level that's out of their 60-day fast start period, you're going to get paid 2% on. And then anybody on your second level, you're going to be getting paid 3% on. So it goes 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. So that's how our comp plan goes. 2, 3, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. Those are the levels. So once you're a director and you have 1,000 in OV, and that could be, again, there would be no point in this. If you were ordering 1,000 just yourself, you would be a director. You would get paid on your first, second, and third levels, assuming you have people on those levels. You would get paid 2% of everyone on your first level, 3% of everyone on your second level, and 5% of everybody on your third level. Now, once you're director or executive, that's 2,000 in volume total. You're getting paid 4 levels down. So 2 on your first level, 3% on your second level, 5% of your third level, 5% of your fourth level. Now, here's what I love about doTERRA. Other comp plans are flipped. So you're getting paid 7% of your first level. Here's the reason that I love that they do 2% of your first level. First of all, I have 6 people on my level 1. I don't have any more than that. Well, right now I have 7 because I need to move some that I just enrolled. But I have 6 people on my front line, and I have like 3 or 4 or 5,000 on my 7th line. I don't remember how many I have, but I have thousands on my 7th level. Do you think I want to get paid 7% on those 6 people? No, I want to get 2% of those people because I want 7% of my 7th level with thousands of people. So once you're elite, 3,000.
The other thing I like about how they do their comp plan is it encourages us to help those under us.
Yes.
And so it really goes along with the culture of doTERRA, which was a planned thing with the comp plan.
Because instead of being like, well, I'm keeping everyone close to me because I get paid better, it's like, no, I'm going to spread the wealth because if I do well, if I'm getting paid further down, and then more people are going to be getting paid between me and the person I'm placing, as long as everyone's doing their 100. So elite 3,000, and then you're getting paid down to your 5th level. Now premier is when it changes. It's not just based on your volume any longer. It is based on your volume and having qualifying legs. So you need to have 5,000 OV, but you need to have 2 legs that are both hitting executive. So you go back and look and see executive is 2,000, but you have to be at 5,000 total. So you could have a leg at elite, you could have, they just need to see 2 elite legs, overall volume 5,000.
And so these legs have to be 2 separate legs, and you have to have the enrollership of the person who's hitting executive or higher.
Now remember, this is you. So let's say this is your organization, and you have blue man number 1 is your first leg, blue number 2 is your second, and blue number 3 is your third. Now, you may not have enrollership of blue man number 1, but you might have enrollership of light blue man number 1. You may have that enrollership. And that's great, because anytime that light blue man number 1, we'll call him LB1, anytime he enrolls somebody, you're going to get 10%, but he also qualifies you for rank. So he might be elite, and these people may not choose to order, and you might think, oh my gosh, my front line's not ordering, I can't hit my rank. Not true, because you have LB1's enrollership. So even though he's down on your 3rd level, you can still hit your rank. Now, you need to have somebody under this 2nd leg. It doesn't matter if it's blue man number 2 or light blue man over down here. You have to have enrollership of somebody in this 2nd leg or in this 3rd leg. You just have to have someone in one leg and then someone in a completely different leg hitting executive. Doesn't matter if they're on your front line or your 12th line. Doesn't matter. So once you have 2 separate people hitting executive in the same month and your volume is 5,000, you are hitting a premier. And you are getting 6% of your 6th level. So your check a lot of times it will really jump when you hit premier. And then silver, there's no monthly OV. You don't have to have a minimum. Now, obviously, if you do the math, you have to be at least 9,000, but there's not like a requirement for that. So basically, you need 3 elite legs. Elite is the magic rank in doTERRA, because you'll see for silver, you need 3. For platinum, you need 9. For diamond, you need 12 elites. And then for for presidential diamond, you need 54 elites. So for silver, you need 3 elites. So you need 3 people in 3 different legs that are hitting 3,000 in volume. So you could have orange man number 1 could be one of your elites. Now, if orange man number 2 is an elite, that's great, but it won't qualify you because it's all in one leg. So you need an elite in a totally different leg to be silver. And then once you're gold, this is where you might think, oh, this is getting complicated because I need 3 premiers, and a premier has to have 2 executive legs. So you're hitting gold. And then for platinum, you need 3 silvers. Diamond, you need 4 silvers. So you need a 4th leg. Blue diamond, you need 5 golds. And then platinum or presidential diamond, you need 6 platinums. Now, once you hit silver, you're maxing out the comp plan in terms of you don't get paid any further down being a silver versus a presidential diamond. Now, once you hit silver, your doTERRA is giving you get a bonus just for hitting that rank. Now, here's what I love about doTERRA. In a lot of companies, you get a one-time bonus for hitting a rank. You never get it again. You just get it the first time. doTERRA, you get that bonus every single month you hit the ranks. So silvers get a bonus of about $150 to $180 every time they hit that rank. Now, if you have this is a little complicated. So if you're new, shut your ears off or close your ears because I don't want to confuse you. You're welcome to listen, but I also don't want to confuse you. So if you're brand new and you're not silver yet, don't worry about this. But doTERRA gives you bonuses. Each time you have a new personally enrolled elite, you get an extra share of silver. So as a silver,
one-time thing.
So that's a one-time thing. So when you have a new person hitting rank, an elite that you personally enrolled, and it doesn't matter if it's in your 1st leg, 2nd leg, 3rd leg, 27th leg, you have someone new hitting elite for the first time and you enrolled them, you get an extra share as long as you're hitting silver that month. So then instead of getting 150, you'd get $300 because you'd get that silver bonus twice. And the pool fluctuates based on the company's volume, but silver is very consistently about 150 to 180 every month. Now, so you get 1 share of the leadership performance pool. Now, once you are a gold, you're getting 5 shares of that. So the average gold makes about $800 a month. Same thing, if they have a new elite, then they are getting an extra share. So they'd get like an extra 180 for a new elite. So that's as a gold. Platinum's 10 times. So the platinum bonus is $1,500 to $1,800 because you're getting 10 times the leadership pool. Like I said, if you're not here yet, don't stress about it. We'll go over this once you hit here, but it's always good to hear at least. It's just good to start hearing it. And then diamond bonus, you get the diamond performance pool. The diamond bonus averages about $3,500 to $4,000. The blue diamond bonus is what? This is our pool.
Wow.
It's around $12,000. Some months it's $11,500. Some months it's almost $14,000, but it averages about $12,000 every month. And the presidential diamond pool is about $30,000 to $35,000 each month you hit presidential. Now, I will tell you the biggest portion of your check and the thing that I would focus on the most is your unilevel and your overall team volume. Our unilevel is over twice what we get paid as a blue diamond. So there are some months our unilevel has been over, between $30,000 and $40,000 just for unilevel. Just for unilevel. That's just taking all the volume on my team outside of the first 60 days, and then everyone on my first level 2%, everyone on my second level 3%. You get the idea. So unilevel is where the money is long term with doTERRA. Absolutely. A healthy unilevel is going to be huge. Let's see who I've confused. Oh, okay, she's putting the estimated thing in. So you want to make sure that, sometimes people get really caught up, but I don't have their enrollership. I don't want to help this leg. And I totally understand that. But if you look at it long term, your unilevel is where you're getting paid all the money. So my unilevel is over twice what the blue diamond pool is.
One note on the pools. So so there's actually 2 pools. So once you hit diamond or above, you participate in 2 different pools. So this diamond performance pool, and then each rank has their own little pool as well. So the combined value of the pools is what Jen gave you. So between the 2 pools, just to clarify. So
I'm going to let you finish up.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. Yes, presidential is 35,000. I'll just type it up. Okay. Another question. Okay, cool.
So in doTERRA, Richard can read you the average amount per rank, and he is going to now open it up for questions. There is another, and I will tell you this, doTERRA makes sure that every rank gets paid out, or every order gets paid out, and I'll let Richard explain that in a simple way. And I'm going to go back to my mentor call, so I'm going to let Richard finish up our webinar, and he's going to open it up for questions. And thanks for being on with me this morning. Hopefully we confused you just enough, but not too much.
So the comp plan is, it's not, once you understand, it's not super complicated, but I'm a numbers guy. And it took me a couple times of really going through it with someone to really get it. So if you don't quite get it, that's okay. Once again, if you're just getting started, the most important thing is fast start. And then whoever enrolled you can help you with placing people as well to start building your organization. But it does take a couple times to go through it. Okay, so dynamic compression, I have a question about that. So what dynamic compression is right down here. So the easiest way to explain dynamic compression without going into detail is basically when there's an order on your team, it always pays out 7 times. And so some companies will say, okay, if this person on your level 5 didn't order, then that 6% right here just doesn't get paid out. The company just keeps that 6% because this person on your level 5 just forgot to order. What happens is that commission gets pushed up to the next person and they get 6%. So technically you can get paid deeper than level 7. And very frequently you do. So we get paid down to our 11th, 12th level in many cases. because of breakage in the plan. And so instead of just that order disappearing or that commission not being paid out, an order always pays out 7 times. And so if a person doesn't order or doesn't qualify to get paid that, instead of breakage, as they call it, it pushes up and finds the person that did order and pays that out to them. So that's a basic way to explain dynamic compression. So it's a very good thing. Any other questions? And I'll cover one more thing.
I have a question, please.
Okay.
It seems as if the introduction of wholesale customers makes it more, anyway, for me anyway, makes it a little more difficult to build down. Like, right, if I'm thinking about unilevel and getting that money coming in, I want to build a little deeper. But since everyone wants to enroll, anyway, anyone I've tried to enroll since convention wants to be a wholesale customer, you can't build under them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a...
Yes, that is true. So when you enroll someone, just to explain it for everybody, doTERRA came out with a new account called Wholesale Customer, where they don't, the main difference is when you're enrolling them, they don't enter their social security number. And so because of that, because they don't have their social security number for tax purposes, they can't earn a commission. So they can't enroll anybody. No one can be placed under them. And so, yeah, so if you wanted to place people so they're further down in your organization so you get paid a little bit more on them, that doesn't work with a wholesale customer. Now, when we are enrolling someone, I never even bring up wholesale customer. We just enroll them. And if they say, well, I don't really feel comfortable giving my social security number, then we're like, oh, great, there's another option. And we do the wholesale customer. So, but normally we just enroll everybody as a wellness advocate. Now, as far as building depth on your organization, I wouldn't worry too much. Like when you're placing people of like, oh, I'm going to place this person so I get 5%, because typically the average order might be like $100 a month, for easy math, I'll keep it at 100. So if they're on your 4th level, that's only $5 a month. That doesn't make a big difference to you. What makes a big difference is finding and enrolling builders and placing them accordingly. And so, because if that person enrolls 10 people, and then, of those 10 people, 2 of them enroll 10 people, you know what I mean? And then it just kind of keeps replicating that way. That's where you get the power of the unilevel kicking in. So I wouldn't worry as much about placing people for to maximize unilevel from just a person that's not building, that's just going to order a little bit every month. I would play, anyways. That's a whole nother discussion, placements, but we won't get into that too much. So,
could I ask another question, please? I have a couple of legs, and one of my legs, all of it, I do not hold enrollership. Now, I think I learned today that if I do enroll someone, I could put someone that I just enrolled under that leg where I don't have enrollership. And that leg could become a qualifying leg for my Power of 3?
So Power of 3 does not follow enrollership. So Power of 3, so there's a couple things you brought up here, okay? So the first one is Power of 3. So Power of 3, it does not matter if you have enrollership of these people. They just have to have LRP orders. It does not matter. It does not care who is their enroller. So Power of 3 basically only follows sponsorship. Fast Start only follows enrollership. Does that make sense? So the other thing I think you might be, just to clarify, make sure you're good with, it makes sense, is so if you enroll someone and you have enrollership of them way down here, that person that you have enrollership so to hit silver, they would have to be elite. And so that person would have to be elite just with the stuff that would be under them. So if this organization has $3,000 of volume or 3,000 PV of volume, and you enroll someone underneath that leg, that doesn't qualify you for silver, because the person that you have an enrollership of has to have 3,000 underneath them personally. So, so all this volume would just go towards unilevel. It wouldn't count as a rank. Now, what doTERRA, an option that you might have is if you have a leg like that, and no one's building, there are some cases where you can say you can have an enrollership transferred to you, and doTERRA set it up so that you can, if depending on when they enrolled, because anyone, it was kind of a new policy about a year ago, and so anybody before that this doesn't apply to, but anyone after that's enrolled after that point, I think it was like a year and a half ago. Anyways, but you can transfer enrollership twice, in certain situations. So it's not like a hard and fast rule, but that's a conversation that you could have with Jen or someone else, or a doTERRA account manager or something. So I think I had another question. So okay, I think Brian said he had to head out. So. Any other questions? And I was going to share one more thing with you guys. Jen already kind of shared it, but I will go over it real quick again. Oh, it's on my computer. I was like, where'd it go? So I mentioned earlier that people hit rank a lot faster in doTERRA. So when doTERRA was comparing comp plans with other companies, so the average, with some of the other companies, the average time it took to hit the equivalent of our diamond rank, the average time was like 9 years, whereas the average time in doTERRA was like two or 3 years. So the average diamond hit in 2 to 3 years. So anyway, that's a huge difference. doTERRA really has produces leadership ranks way faster than any other company out there. So just mention the numbers again. Jen wanted me to go over it one more time. Is this average silver makes about $26,000 a month or a year. The average gold makes about $60,000 a year. The average platinum makes about $115,000 a year. The average diamond makes $205,000. The average blue diamond makes $462,000. The average presidential makes about $1.3 million a year. And so when you first hit that rank, obviously you won't be at average. You'll be at at the lower range. But quickly you'll be able to get up to that average. So doTERRA is a very awesome company. The comp plan's great. And my favorite thing about the comp plan is I love how they've designed it and encouraging team effort. So doTERRA is the best. So one thing that, I don't know if you guys get this, but you'll see other people talk about, oh, I made such and such money with this other company. Just a note on that. One thing that doTERRA does not do is we do not hype our comp plan, and it's not designed to be hyped. So for instance, like other companies will say, I just got a $10,000 bonus check. Whereas in reality, that's a one-time thing that is very rare, or they got a $10,000 bonus check, but they had to put $8,000 into it. So don't always believe what you hear. And that's one thing I love about doTERRA. doTERRA does not hype their comp plan. They don't have it set up to, deceive people on the amount of money you can make. So, yes. So the question was, do you still get a fast track bonus for the wholesale customers? Yes, you do. So you get paid fast start on wholesale customers. So, any other questions? If not, we are going to go ahead and end. Thank you, everybody. It's great. Oh, one more. Oh, awesome. Okay. Have a good day. See ya.